Hey guys, in this tutorial you will learn how to install L2TP VPN server on Raspberry Pi. How to basically set it up. Uh, on Raspberry Pi you must have Raspbian VZ operating system installed, and I'm going to be using fresh installation of Raspbian VZ. So I got it from raspberrypi.org/downloads. You can get the latest version from there. This tutorial requires running L2TP server requires router configuration. You will have to assign static IP address to your Raspberry Pi. On your router firewall, you must forward ports 1701 TCP, 4500 UDP, and 500 UDP to your Raspberry Pi's IP address. So you must do that. That would be your router configuration. You will need to know what is the static IP address of your Raspberry Pi, basically whatever you assign to it, right? And you must know your gateway address. Most of the time it's the same IP address as, if you leave it as default, it will be same as your router, whatever you access your router with. I'll access my router with 192.168.1.1, so it will be whatever you access your router with, Next thing you need to do is you will have to install and configure some packages. OpenSwan, L2TPV, and PPP. OpenSwan is open source implementation of Ipsec for Linux operating system. L2TPV is layer 2 tunneling protocol, and PPP is a daemon which implements point-to-point protocol. You will need to install these packages basically and configure them. If you go down, so the last thing you need to know is you must visit. I've written a post where the post explains everything that you need to know, all the commands and everything. If you visit tutorials.by/sing, and you will find information over there that you need to know for this stuff. I'll go through the first step. First thing is router configuration. For router configuration, we have to assign static IP address to our Raspberry Pi. So for me, I went to my router IP 192.168.1.1, and I clicked on advanced because I want to change some advanced settings. I clicked on IP address distribution. This is the main network that I have. So I have IPs from 192.168.1.2 to 254 basically. That's my dynamic IP range at my house. So the last device that you see here is Raspberry Pi, and I made it static lease type by clicking the edit button on the side, and I changed the lease type to static by checking this button off, and I clicked applied, right? And that's all I have to do to make it a static IP address. So every time my Raspberry Pi tries to connect to my network, my router will look at the MAC address, and MAC address stays the same. So every time this MAC address comes up asking for an IP address, my router will assign 192.168.1.19 to that device. So firewall setting. As I've told you before, you could visit tutorials.by, and if you search over there, setup L2TP server, hit enter. The first post that you will see here, how to set up L2TP VPN server on Raspberry Pi. You click that. This post basically explains to you everything that you need to know for installing L2TP VPN server on Raspberry Pi. Okay, so we were on the first step. We have already assigned static IP address to our Raspberry Pi, and we want to open up ports 1701 TCP. So the way to do is just go to port forwarding into your router configuration. I will select Raspberry Pi and I'll do custom port. TCP was 1701. I believe it was 1701. Yes, TCP and hit add, and you want to do 4500, that would be UDP, and 500. So as you can see on the bottom, if I go bottom, you can see that TCP 1701 is being forwarded to Raspberry Pi, 4500 UDP is being forwarded to Raspberry Pi, 500 UDP is being forwarded to Raspberry Pi. Right, so that's all good. I told you already I'm using Verizon Fios and I have the default setup right now. Now the next thing we gotta do is run all the commands. To run the commands, we could, on Windows, if you want to SSH into Raspberry Pi, you can use a software called Putty. It will let us SSH into our Raspberry Pi. So basically go onto Google, download Putty. The first link you will see on Google, you just click that, it will take you there. Hit putty.exe, the file will download, open it up. Once you open it up, you type in your Raspberry Pi IP address. You must already have information about it. I told you in the beginning, you assign a static IP address, right? So you put in your port. I have the default information right now, everything, all my usernames and password. So first I'm using Raspberry Pi after I've installed fresh installation. So my username is Pi default Raspberry password. Right, I punched in the information and it took me there. First thing I want to do is run all the commands as super user. Run command called sudo password wd. Type in whatever password you want to have for super user. Remember it also. You will need to know it. Hit su and type in the password that you remember, that you just set up before that. Okay, so now you should be able to run all the commands as a super user. So first thing you do is apt-get update. You want to update all the packages, lists, and everything. This may take a couple of minutes, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. If you've never run this command before, I haven't ever run this command before because this is the first time I'm using the system, so it will take like a minute or two, and I will let you guys know what to expect after this finishes. After apt-get update happens, we gotta install some packages: OpenSwan, L2TP, PPP, and LSOF. Well, when we're gonna install those packages, OpenSwan might ask us some questions, but we're gonna leave the answers to default and we're just gonna enter through it, and after that we will go on further. Well, this seems to be reading packages list. The good thing about L2TP VPN server is that it's secure. I'm able to access all the Samba servers because in my house I have a Samba server running. It has a lot of files, like a lot of Word files, PDFs, and everything that I have on my computer. I could access the Samba server through IPv4 IP forward. This will allow me to access everything that I have on my local network on IPv4. I will show you guys later on by using it on my iPhone. Okay, so that seems to be done. So the update is done. The next step is apt-get install OpenSwan. Copy that command and paste it. Okay, hit yes, Y key and enter, and that will install the package. Okay, just hit enter, don't worry about that. I will show you guys at the end on my iPhone, T-Mobile iPhone. I'm gonna try to use the VPN and I will show you guys it works really good, you know. I'm gonna be able to access. I'll show you guys how I can use the VNC viewer to view my other computers within my home network through Raspberry Pi. It happens to be a very, 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 very great tool. I mean, since I've got it, I've used it a lot. The good thing is Raspberry Pi uses very little power, uses only 5 volts. So, I mean, it could be running all the time basically. It doesn't consume much energy. It's very good. It's very, I mean, speed wise it's alright. I never really, have any issues with the speed because I have Verizon Fios. I mean, I at least get like 5 megs outside of megabits outside of my house. So, I mean, after the packages are installed, run these commands one by one. You want to update Iptables, table nat. Hit that command and hit enter. Now, the next command here is etc. Basically, you're appending etc/sysctl.conf file. You're adding this information below it. You could manually modify it and add the information, or you could just copy paste the commands. So just copy paste the commands one by one, right? Okay, enter, copy it, enter, copy it, enter. Alright, so you're done with that. So next thing you want to do is edit rc.local file, which is located under etc. What you want to do is, before exit 0, you want to copy and paste this information. Control X, Y, enter. Save the information basically after pasting it. Next thing you want to do is you want to rename old ipsec.conf file to ipsec.conf.old file. Basically renaming it so you have a backup of it. Now you want to edit the empty ipsec.conf file using nano editor, and you want to replace the file contents with this information that is here, the next block of code that you see here. Paste it. Basically, in this code, you have to change some information. The first thing you want to change is the left. Left will be your Raspberry Pi device IP address, whatever you have statically assigned to it. Right? And same here. This will be your Raspberry Pi IP address and connection pass-through. Left next hop would be your gateway address. So I've already have my information pasted there, so I just gotta hit Control X, yes, hit enter, and that's about it. My information was already there, but you gotta change it to your information, your IP address and gateway address. Now I want to edit ipsec.secrets file. In the bottom of this file, basically you want to add the secret passcode. In this information, what you want to change is 192.168.1.19 to your IP address for Raspberry Pi, and passkey, you want to change it to whatever you want to assign for your VPN server. You will need this information afterwards. I will save it as Raspberry. Now you want to edit xl2tpd.conf file. Everything is commented out over here, so if you go to the bottom of the file, just hit the bottom arrow on your keyboard and go to the bottom of the file. Hit enter once, so you see the difference. So you paste it in this listen address. You want to change it to your Raspberry Pi IP address and IP range that you want to assign to your VPN server, however many devices are connecting to it. I mean, I'm using it from 201 to 250. I will not ever have 200 devices in my house, so my DHCP server will never get there, hopefully. So 201 through 250 is being assigned to whatever device wants to connect to me through my VPN server. So, and your local IP will be your Raspberry Pi's IP address. Hit Control X, yes, enter. That will save the file. Okay, next thing we want to do is edit options.xl2tpd file. Here, you want to just copy the whole thing and paste it. Okay. MSDNS would be your gateway address. So basically you would type your gateway addresses here. Now we want to edit the secrets file where you will type your username and password. Just copy this line, append it to the bottom of that file in your nano editor. Okay. Okay, username and password. What I want to do is I'm going to just put it same as Pi and Raspberry. Control X, hit enter, hit Y and enter. Right? Okay, at this point everything is done. If everything is successfully done, we want to add the service to boot up. So every time we start our Raspberry Pi, we want the L2TP server to start by itself. So for that we use copy the last command and paste it there and hit enter. Okay, so that worked. Same thing with the Ipsec defaults. You want to paste it there. Having some issues with pasting, but alright, so to paste it you could either click right here. I thought it had that option to paste, but anyways, you paste it by right clicking on your mouse. If you want to paste anything on putty, you right click on your mouse and it'll paste it. Okay, so everything is done. The last thing I gotta do is restart my services and restart L2TPD server and Ipsec server. This will stop OpenSwan and restart it. Everything went through very nicely and smoothly. You should have no problem afterwards accessing it outside of your network, since we've already done the port forwarding. As you can see, I've port forwarded 1701, 4500 and 500 to Raspberry Pi, so I should be good. If I try to connect to my Raspberry Pi VPN server on my iPhone, I should be able to access it. And I'm going to be using T-Mobile network, and I will show you guys that it works. I'm going to be able to access everything I have on my local network. I'm going to be able to SSH into my local machines. I will show you right now. I will make another video. Alright, if everything went smoothly, you guys should have a working L2TP VPN server now at this point. Thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe to me and have fun. Bye bye. Okay, so the last thing that, as I told you, I was gonna show to you guys on my iPhone. If I go to settings and I go down to general VPN, I've already set up all the information. Instead of typing the IP address of my house that I'm assigned from Verizon, I'm just typing this service that I'm using, ip.lc service. You would type your IP address over here for your home, and your account name would be what you had set up. That's mine was Pi as default, and password was Raspberry, and the test secret passkey that I had assigned was Raspberry also. So I typed in Raspberry here already, Raspberry here as secret and password for both, and I'm on LTE on my T-Mobile. So the first thing I'm gonna do is show you guys what is my current IP address. My IP. My current IP address is 208.54.45, right? Something that I'm assigned by T-Mobile. So if I hit VPN on, if everything works properly, I haven't tested it yet. This is the first time testing it. Right after I've installed L2TP VPN server, so it did authenticate, and I'm connected. Basically, everything seems good. So at this point, what I want to show you guys is I'm on my T-Mobile phone. Basically, at my house I have Verizon, right? So everything that I have at my house on right now, I'm gonna be able to access it. So basically, have Ubuntu desktop also. My Raspberry Pi IP address is here. So if I hit connect here, right? So this is my. Well, the reason why I wasn't able to connect to my my Pi was because I'm using wrong port here. Right, so see, this is my desktop, Ubuntu desktop. I'm able to access it very nicely. I mean, anything I type here will be like instantly. Doesn't have any delay. And other than that, so if I go to Google and so punch in my IP again, see, I have something that I've assigned from Verizon, basically, right? It was different. It was 208 before, but now it's 72.69 point something, right? So basically, don't worry about what my IP address is. It changes every day. So good thing is, I'm gonna show you guys also the cool thing. I'm able to access my home servers and everything. So I'm using this application called Pocket Cloud. If I click edit, you guys gonna see I'm on my T-Mobile LTE, right? But at home I have Verizon. My IP address for my Ubuntu server is 192.168.1.7, right? And on my phone, I'm able to get everything that I have running at my house. So basically, as you can see, that this is my Ubuntu computer at home. I'm able to see everything like it's like very instant. I mean, this is like very nice. I mean, everything is like instant. See, it has like files is great too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you have a working L2TP VPN server. Alright, bye bye. And subscribe, visit tutorials.by. Hopefully you have fun. Alright, bye bye.